History is filled with brilliant minds. Whether you examine ancient battlefield strategists or modern corporate CEOs, the ones who actually succeed share one defining trait. They understand the mechanics of power. Opting out of power dynamics is impossible within any social structure. Those who ignore the rules simply become predictable resources for those who understand them. Author Robert Greene spent years analyzing this system. He studied the specific tactics used by the most ruthlessly clever strategists across 3,000 years of history to find the patterns behind their success. One of those patterns is summarized in his first law: never outshine the master. Consider a junior employee sitting in a meeting, eager to impress. They correct their manager in front of the CEO to demonstrate their superior intelligence. This progression illustrates why that move fails. Displaying raw smartness upward triggers executive insecurity. The manager feels threatened by the very person supposed to support them. Once rooted, the manager will quietly marginalize the employee and remove them from promotion tracks. Mastering these laws provides a necessary shield against manipulation. When you identify the traps, you no longer stumble into them blindly. To navigate a modern environment, your initial priority has nothing to do with your labor. It relies entirely on controlling how you are perceived. Greene's fourth law advises saying less than necessary. Human beings generally find silence uncomfortable. When you remain quiet, others often become nervous and start talking to fill the void, frequently revealing their own secrets or vulnerabilities in the process. While you limit your words, you must also cultivate a single impenetrable identity trait. Being known for something specific, like ruthless honesty or extreme punctuality, creates a reputation that acts as a barrier against outside interference. By limiting your verbal outputs and projecting a consistent identity, you withhold the raw data others need to exert control over you. Once your defenses are secure, the strategy shifts toward active leverage. This involves engineering situations where others find it in their own interest to assist you. When negotiating, the natural impulse is to describe personal effort or an urgent need for help. However, appeals based on mercy or desperation rarely produce results. Most people are naturally oriented toward their own strategic goals. As this chart illustrates, balancing a request with specific strategic gains for the other party creates the necessary leverage. The request succeeds because it aligns with their selfish motives. This requires identifying a person's thumbscrew. Every individual has a secret weakness, an insecurity, or a hidden desire that they work to keep concealed. True leverage is built by locating those hidden pressure points. Once identified, you can move others by aligning your objectives with their internal drives. At the highest levels of the matrix, the stakes move beyond office politics into historical territory. Here, the rules dictate the permanent removal of threats. Law 15 insists on crushing an enemy totally. In the 12th century, Emperor Prithviraj Chauhan defeated the invading ruler Muhammad Ghori. Instead of finishing the conflict, Chauhan showed mercy and allowed him to retreat. That decision resulted in disaster. Ghori used the reprieve to rebuild his army, eventually returning to execute the emperor. Leaving a rival partially intact guarantees a future retaliatory strike. To prevent such outcomes, one must master timing. This involves long time, or the patience to wait for an opening, forced time, which involves rushing an opponent into a mistake, and end time, the moment of the decisive strike. Even a brilliant plan fails if it is executed with misplaced mercy or poor timing. Success requires an absolute strike at the exact moment of opportunity. There is a final layer to this strategy. While these rules provide structure, true power requires you to abandon rigid forms entirely. This is the ultimate concept of formlessness. Like water, a shapeless entity cannot be grasped or easily attacked. When you adapt your approach to fit every shifting situation, you become impossible for an opponent to target accurately. This means remaining fluid in daily life, directing credit toward superiors when helpful, maintaining silence in social settings, and moving quickly when you spot a competitor's weakness. Power operates as a neutral mechanic, indifferent to the intent of the user. With the rules now visible, the choice of how to apply them belongs to you.